So may I start presenting?
Okay, terima kasih.
Okay, good morning to all the panels and everyone who watching this. My name is Cheng. My SB is Dr. Fauziah. So the title of my FYP project is UMP of Campus House Rental System, in short, UOCA. So this project is a web-based which I developed using Vue.Js as front end and Laravel framework as back end. So this system is a web application for UMP student to browse and book a rental room posted by a landlord which has been verified by the UMP staff. So from here, we can know that this system has three users. The first one is UMP student. Second one is landlord who own the property nearby the UMP campuses. So last one is the UMP staff, in short, MPP of campus of the university. Now, I'll show some of the key features which this system offers. So the first one is browse verify rental room with ease and also with the filters. The second one is student can make room booking and the bill payment directly in the system. So third one is the automated recurring billing. So fourth one is real-time private chat and notification features. And last one is house rental platform. I'll show this later. Before that, I will state why I built the app. So the first one is there has been several cases that reported UMP student has been scammed by a fake landlord. Why? Because they are not smart, reliable platform for students to search. So students will normally search at the Facebook, so which can be risky. So second one is landlord unable to control number of tenants, so which can cause the house to degrade faster. Because student normally invite has friends to live in that house. So the last one is student managing rental bill payment manually. So this can be very hassle. It's every time the student have to divide the total bills among the housemates. So what my system offer is you just pay your part when the bills come. So the system will automatically calculate everything. So let's go to the system demonstration. So here is the login page of the system. So I'll show the overall flow of the system. So the system start with the landlord. So landlord have to register. This is the student registration. So landlord, I will just click register. Okay, sign up. Okay, now we arrive at the landlord dashboard. And by the way, this system is a single page application. So when I navigate to the other page, you will see that the browser will not load. Okay, you see? Okay, the browser will not load, so this can be slightly faster compared to the traditional multi-page. So now we arrive at the profile, landlord profile. I will show that we can update the profile. For example, this. For example, profile description type. Okay, update successful. Now, so landlord have to add their property in order for it to register in the system. Now let's add the property. Okay, for example, here the address. So the property name, campuses, the postcode, toilet, gender preference. For example, this property I would just want to rent for a male. Now the important field is nearby campuses, Pekan or Gambang, and also the gender preferences. Now next, the landlord has to add the property image. For example, like this. Now they have to label it. This is kitchen and this is toilet. Next is the furnishing. So if the house has internet, they can tick in the description, for example, like this. Okay, now is the location GPS. They can pin, for example, somewhere around here. Okay, now they can enter and they can check on their property, and they can also edit if necessary. Now the landlord has to add properties room for it in order for it to listing to the student. So for example, okay, shared room at Raja Kambang, room, maybe room 1, and then single or shared, the room type, for example shared. So it's shared maximum number of tenants, maybe 2 or more. If single, maybe 1. So rental, monthly rental including the utility bills. So for example 800, and the penalty fees. For example, if the bills come and if student haven't paid and it's overdue, so the system will extra charge 50 ringgit in the next bill. The next. So the room listing picture, for example, like this. Okay, the room furnishing, for example, if it has fan, aircon, or study table, and the description. Okay. landlord can click same, they can edit or delete the room. Now the landlord has added the room, so the system will auto-generate a booking key. So this booking key later will be acquired by the student to make a booking. I will show that later. Now since the landlord have registered, it's still unverified in the system, so the system will notify the staff that landlord have registered a property. So we go to the staff. So this is the dashboard of the staff. So here it will notify this landlord just now has applied for a property application. Okay, so it will show here. So the staff MPP can review what the landlord had posted. Okay, now what the staff can do is they have to communicate with the landlord. They have to chat. It's a real-time chat system, for example. Okay, for example, like this. I have you received your property application. Are you free at 3 Jam? Blah blah blah. Okay, now the landlord have received the text message from the staff. So maybe they can say yes. Okay, now let's assume that the staff already meet with the landlord and verify that the landlord's property is legit and able to register in the system. So what the staff can do is, the staff can update the status to verify. Okay, verify. So since it's verified, so the student able to browse to the landlord's property. Okay, save, update. Okay, so now just log out this landlord, go to another landlord. Okay, we go to the student next. So this is the student landing page. Okay. Okay. So the student first they can choose their campuses. For example, if Pekan, they will choose Pekan. So it will only show the Pekan rooms. And if Gambang, they will show the Gambang. For now, I show Gambang. So if the student knows some area of the room, so they can search, for example, Rakyat. Okay, Taman Rakyat. So we will show the room. This is just now the staff have verified Taman Rakyat Gambang. So now, next the filters. If I am a female, so I can click on the female, so I can search for the female rooms. So next, if I room type, so next if I want next time I want to live alone, so I can choose a single room, so it will only show the single room. Now if I have a certain budget, for example 800, so I can filter, and I can also filter by the order by the price. Now you see that I'm still not renting any room yet, so let's rent the room. Okay, let's rent this room, for example. So the student can click and it will show the details of the room. Here is the room photos, and here is the that is house photo, and right side here is the room photo. So here is the description of the property and also the room furnishing, location map, and here the system will recommend some of the similar room. Okay, now let's say the student want to rent this room. So what they can do is first they have to check the landlord to request for a booking key. So if they not request just randomly, okay, just randomly enter a key, so they cannot proceed to the next booking payment. So this booking key, the purpose is to prevent if there are multiple different students trying to make booking and make payment at the same time. So the student who acquire the booking key are the only one who can make the booking. Now let's check if the landlord. This also encourage the landlord to ask communication between student and landlord. So for example, I ask something like this: hey, I am interested in this room. Are you? May I ask for the booking key? Now the landlord have to take the booking key. Okay. Now let's make a booking payment. So move in date first. Maybe I can 27. Okay. Period tenancy 5 months. Okay. Booking key. Okay. Now I can proceed to the booking. So here is the booking summary. So let's make a payment. Log into my payment gateway account. So 600 and pay now. Okay, payment successful. So now I will notify that I have made a payment a few minutes ago. Here I can check on the receipt. So it will also notify a landlord that someone has made a payment. Okay, now here now I have made a rental just now. So here I can enter the rental property platform. So here is the platform. So at the top here is a landlord and property information. So here is the house bulletin box. So the student can view whatever the tenant or landlord has write, for example like this. And at right side here, they can, if there are bills, they can view here. And here is my rooms. Okay. And below here, they can view the housemate information. Okay, this room doesn't have occupied any housemate yet. Now, the student can also write a post. For example, like, Han, it's your turn to wash toilet this week. Okay, so whoever leaves that house can receive a notification that someone has posted. Okay, this is landlord platform. So here the landlord can view. Here is landlord total rent collected for this property, and here they can view the tenant for each room. Now let's move on to the student can also delete the post. Okay. Now here is my room just now. Okay, this is the room that I rented just now, so it will show rented. So the other student won't be able to rent this room. So the maximum tenants per room is 2. So if I decide to whether I want to add a roommate or not. So if I decide I want to add a roommate, so the bills will be divided into 2. So let's add a roommate. So we will add a, okay, this is another student account. So maybe we add this student, Witness Raj. Okay, the ID is 41. Okay, we send a roommate request to the student. Okay, so the tenancy status here is the pending. So now my roommate will receive a notification that I have sent a roommate request to them, so they can accept or decline. So let's say accept. Okay. Then my roommate can also enter the same house as I. Okay. Yeah. Tenancy. So I can also view if they are accept, my roommate accept or not. Here. Okay. Tenancy. Okay. Now let's talk about the bills. So the first bill will occur at February of 27. So the system will schedule a bill every month. So how does it work is, so the system will run this command daily. So basically contain this algorithm, all of this algorithm. So it's basically sum up is the system will check if the today date is equal to the bill dates. If yes, they will do all the necessary calculation and we change the bill date to ready. So the related tenant will receive the bills. So let me demonstrate. So the next bill is February of 27. Okay, this is just for testing purpose. Okay, we wait for a while. Okay, now the bill have arrived, so you will notify the student that the rental bills for February is ready. So at here, the system will also send a bill emails notification to the student if the student are away from the system. So you will have bills details, and the student can click check now and go to the system. Okay. Now. Okay, we see. Okay, just now it says 600, right? The rental month. So since I invite the roommate, so it will be divided into 2. So it will be 300. So now the tenant will only have to pay their part. So let's pay the bills. So here's bill details. Let me pay the bills. Pay now. Payment successful. Okay. Okay, here my 5. Okay. Landlord can also receive someone has made payment. Okay. Wait. Okay, I have made payment. So here you will say paid. Now let's see for the landlord. Okay, landlord. Okay, landlord. Now, so the landlord, they can check the bills, the tenant bills, for example, you can check. So here, I just now made payment, so it will say paid. However, my roommate haven't made a payment, so it will say unpaid. So if my roommate haven't made payment, so we will see what happened on the next day. Okay, let's see. Let's proceed to the next day, which is March of 27. March of 27. March of 27. Wait for a while. Okay, build it. Alright. So let's go to my roommate account. So here just now, build is arrived. So we see what happened. So build is 700. So let's check the bill. So now it's here it state that outstanding bill from the previous month. So here the previous month is overdue, not paid. So if you extra just 100. Why? Because the landlord here set 100. Since it's overdue, so you extra just 100. So total will be 300 plus 100 plus with the bill for this month 300. So total will be 700. So let me pay the bills. Log in. Oops, somewhere. Okay. 700. Try rework. Okay, payment successful. So now, okay, notify me I have made payment. So now, same landlord has. So the rent collected will be increases. Now the landlord can check the bills. Okay, save check. Just now is 300 haven't paid. Just now my roommate have made payment 700. Okay, finally have made payment. Now let's say today is the end of the tenancy period for the tenant. So the landlord want to empty the room. So what the tenant can do is the landlord can kick the tenant. So here, since this tenant, the first one, have not made payment, so the system will notify that this tenant have not paid the bills. Are you sure you want to kick? So the tenant can cancel or override. So this one, however, have made the payment, so the landlord can kick the tenant to empty the room for the next tenant. So that's about it for the landlord and student. So we'll see what the staff can do. Here manage property. Here is the manage user. Just simple things. Maybe they can search student, manage users, landlord, same thing. Manage staff, same thing, but can create a new account for staff. And next is the manage tenant. You will see the student who have rent a room and they can search, for example, they can know where they live. Okay, that's about it for my system, overall system. So in terms of the marketability, I believe in Malaysia, from as far as what I know, there are still no such platform to provide for a student to browse a property specifically for university off campus. So if you are a landlord, and you might also sometimes encounter a difficulty finding a tenant, right? So if your property is nearby the university campuses, so one of the good chance you might get a tenant is by renting it to the student. So if there are such platform like my system provide, so it will be a very convenient to the landlord to register your property and advertise their property, since the target tenant is the student. Okay, next let's talk about the student. So since some of the university in campus accommodation has limitation, so they have to find off campus. So some of the university development area are not that populated, not like KL, not like Selangor, not like Penang. So there they have provided a platform for people to search for property. However, here they are not much. So what will student normally do? Student will normally search on social media such as Facebook. So this can be very risky, as they might encounter a fake landlord who might scam them. Now let's talk about the MPP. So the MPP off campus can now do a better job by providing a verified list of the rental rooms for the student to browse. So at the end, the university can take care of the student welfare. So in conclusion, I believe that this system have a potential to get into the market. So that's all from me. Thank you. Okay, I open for the Q&A.
Okay, I have a few questions as well.
Okay.
So number one, right? Just now kan ding dong, right? How do you do that? What technology?
Oh, the notification, right?
Right.
I just when.
No, what technology do you use?
I use Vue.Js.
Vue.js. No, for the ding dong.
The ding dong is just play the audio.
Oh, it's not because it's not WebSocket. You don't use WebSocket.
Oh yes, I use Websoket to listen for the live notification.
And then the UI, what did you use?
UI.
Of course, you are not using Laravel or the UI.
Using front end Vue.js. And
No, the design.
TailwindCSS.
Alright, so you don't put that on your slide.
So
Alright. So what? Because I like that you put Vue.js Laravel. But what you can do is actually don't put it in front. Alright, you put one more page. Alright, technology use. Alright, if you do like that, you have more than two. Alright, just also I was asking two questions. I know that at least you do two more, which is Websoket and Tailwind, right? So you do that. Alright, you can have 5 or 6.
Okay.
Number 2 is because you are still using localhost because you have a very high level product, very quality and everything. Do you know how to make it not localhost?
So far I haven't applied. I plan to deploy at the Heroku, but I haven't tried because I get my system, so I want to try after my presentation.
Alright, okay. So that's I think because with your level, I think you can get a perfect score if you deploy. Right? If you deploy, you get a perfect score already. Alright, but I think you discovered a lot of things, everything. But I think unfortunately you should spend a little bit time just to deploy and see how it works. So Vue.js one thing lah. And then number 3, good you have PayPal integration. Alright, good that you have PayPal integration. But not everyone in Malaysia has credit card. And then some people don't even know that you can use Visa card and everything. Visa actually Maybank card can, but people don't know. So what you can do is you can see something like Bill Please and everything, you can get the free account very easy. And then for each you can just get the SDK and everything and then you implement it. I think you switch from PayPal to Bill Please because student Bill Please will allow you to do Maybank direct debit and everything.
Okay.
So I think that's it. And then lastly, because now just now a little bit about marketability, right? A little bit about marketability. My problem is you limit it to UMP, so it's not nice anymore because once you limit it to UMP, then it's only for UMP students.
So far,
right? So let's think about it for a while because now I see there are two things. One is something like iProperty, right? Cari tempat sewa, right? But then I read your you cakap actually there's a macam US, Michigan and everything, they have their own though. Another thing is you have the tenant management system. That's what we call tenant management system. Okay. So what I want you to do, right, for the marketability, what you should do is actually you have 3 products, you have 3 things. One is something that's similar to iProperty. Alright. Another one is something that is similar to iProperty, but only for university. Alright. Another thing is what we call a tenant management system. So as a landlord, for example, of course I also have tenant. I also have one apartment that I sewa to somebody, right? So it's very useful. So what you should do for each of these 3, you tengok mana yang paling kurang kompetitor. So if I ask you, for example, in Malaysia, how many tenant management system out there? Or in Malaysia, how many property sewa listing out there, right? In Malaysia, how many students focus property listing out there? Alright, you should be able to list it down, alright? So you have to aware that you have 3 things, alright? You don't have one thing anymore. You actually have 3 things, alright? And then what make it? You need to find out which one is more lucrative for you, which one is more marketability with you. Out of these 3, just list down all the competitor. Actually, kalau you just Google lah how to do market research, kalau tak you can PM me later. Actually, we always learn. Kita buat satu table XXX. I'm not sure you see or not. XXX. Put XXX. These are the features that I have. These are the other things that people don't have. Later you PM me also if you want to have that template.
Okay.
The one that you have a lot of X, that's the one that you have more marketability. And I think it's not the property. I think it's the tenant management system. I think because I say bagus. Then if you're talking about tenant management system, you need to I want to just let you know, alright. Sometimes kan, because now I have a property,
Okay.
alright. But bukan I tau yang sewa semua. The one that manage the property
Agent.
is my agent, alright. So jadi if you think to focus on that, then add another user type, agent. Alright, then agent also, alright. Agent, under agent can have a lot of things, and then that property also is linked to a person, right? So if you're thinking of doing that, then add another user type which is agent. So I think it's a good product. You can almost get a perfect score, but you don't deploy. Right? I think that's the thing that you should do lah. Right? Deploy and then try to adapt it to Malaysian market, and then think which one you want to focus on.
Thank you.
Okay, we Cheng. Congratulations. You have, I would say, a very good product, a very good project. If I am an investor, I think I will consider you. But let's see that maybe after this, if you want to commercialize it, you try to publish it into the not a local host, but maybe some blog server and everything. But I think I don't have a question because it seems that it was a perfect presentation today. It was very good. So if you want to commercialize this one, and I'm really interested in this project. Maybe if you need help into publishing it and try to commercialize it, try to talk with your supervisor, and then you can contact me, and we can see how this will go. If you want to continue for this project. Further all, I don't have any question. It was very good.
Okay.
So, yeah. Keep it up.
Okay. Thank you.
I think you should talk to your lecturer and then supervisor and let them know.
Yes.
Someone and Cik Abang want to talk more about the project or something. Just let them know.
Okay.
Because you think that I think this is very have a potential, and you discuss with supervisor if she or yourself want this one to commercialize, and we can talk on this after this.
Okay.
Alright.
Thank you.
Thank you.